I'm live. The heck? I'm live. I'm live. Hello. Who's out there in YouTube land? How's it going? How's it going? I hate the fact that I can't look at the screen without my glasses because everything is fuzzy. Dang, getting older. Dang it. Hello. Ah, what's up? What's up? I am procrastinating studying. Hello, hello, hello. I know, like this is what, 6 o'clock here, Central Standard Time. How's it going? How's it going out there? Hey, everything's so fuzzy. I hate the fact that I gotta wear my glasses when I want to read. Hey, I wanted to talk about something, so I'm hoping to get at least 5 people. Five, is that too hard to ask for? Five, thank you for the one person. Appreciate you. Appreciate you very much. I wanted to talk about Toni Braxton. Well, not necessarily Toni Braxton, but women like Toni Braxton. Maybe if I put Toni Braxton in the title, that would have brought more people. But it was for the moment. I wasn't trying to come online, but I really am procrastinating studying. Work is over, and I got my little aromatherapy. It's so funny because it comes in different colors. Hey, I got I got my little aromatherapy thing going, and it's purple. Hey, how's it going? It's purple, right? It changes different colors. Okay, so it shows up different. So it's actually green and it's blue, and I had it purple, but it shows up different on the light. How's it going? I want to talk about Toni Braxton. So this is red. I'm going to keep it here. You want to talk about Toni Braxton? Because I want to talk about Toni Braxton. I actually want to do a live maybe in a couple of days about the end of the year. This is the last quarter, so I don't know about you, but like in corporate America, especially if you're in sales, um, a lot of times your sales rep will say, every quarter you got to come up with a plan for what you're going to do. And when it's the end of the year, always want to know what are you going to do for the end of year rollout, right? And thank you. Thank you. He went home. He gets to enjoy the rest of his evening. And see, so I don't know if he was here before. I was telling you about me studying for a certification. So I was driving around with clients, well, not with clients, but had appointments. And so I was like, I'm not bringing this whole thing. So I knew like I had some downtime. So I took part of the book with me. There's 2 small chapters in here, and I took it out of the binder. So this is the other part, but this is 2 of the little chapters that I made it portable. So I just want people to understand I'm not playing around. I got a lot to do, okay? So, and I don't even know what I was thinking about with the Spanish. Estoy muy cansado, okay? I am very tired, okay? That's what I can tell you. So, um, I but I still got some time. I still got some time. We're still plugging away to the end of the month. So we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna just see how it goes. All right. So I want to talk about Toni Braxton. I was hoping to get 5 people in, but hey, There's 5 or 1, or it's, because I didn't know how long it was going to stay on. But hello, welcome. I wanted to do a live, okay, about the end of the year stretch and kind of what has this year taught you as far as so far, and how are you going to deal with the end of the year? Because generally speaking, when it hits fall, especially kids going back to school and going into the holidays, the world speeds by really, really fast. Yeah, it's no joke about how much material I got to cover by the end of the month. And a lot of times if you're in with corporate, they always, that last quarter is really, really important. Especially like the last 90 days. How are you going to end the last 90 days? And of course, want to end with a high note. And of course, in order to do that, you got to have a plan of action. And whether it's in your business life or in your home life, it's always important to have some kind of plan of action. I think this year, especially with everything that has been going on, for some people feeling a lot of uncertainty, I think having a plan of action going into the end of the year, because I don't think we can do things the way we have done in the past. I mean, a lot of the social gatherings and all that has changed. It'll be interesting how people do the holidays with the pandemic and all of that, and the way resources have been. A lot of people have had to change their money situations. How are you going to do the holidays? Are you going to participate in the holidays? How are you reviewing money? I would like to know from everybody, has the year made you change your thought process about a lot of things? And going into the end of the year, how are you going to move forward moving into 2021? Because I think it's important to end the year and start the new year with some perspective. So I was thinking about doing a video on that, like what have you learned and what are you going to do? So I was thinking about that. Maybe in the comments on the replay, you guys can tell me if you kind of like that topic, or maybe something specific about the topic. How are you handling the holidays with family? Are you going to do the holidays different? Will there be no holidays? I know a lot of people did Zoom, but are you just going to go through the status quo? Have you just, trash 2020 and, we're just going to like end it and just start fresh with 2021? I'm kind of curious because, I haven't seen a lot of my friends from this year because it's just been different. We've been all doing things differently. So I want to talk about Toni Braxton because she has been making the news. So if you have not heard, evidently her boyfriend filed a restraining order. Now it's going through the circuit. And I don't want to go too far into the issue about the restraining order. I wanted to touch base on the fact of, do you think Tamar, I said Toni, right? Do you think Tamar moved too fast? Yes, I moved frugally, cheap, small family. Okay. Have you always been that way? Or is this a new way of doing things? I would like to know, because I think for a lot of people, it's been a very big change in the way of doing things. So have you always been frugally cheap, or is this a new way of life for you? Thank you for the thumbs up, and thank you for coming in. That'll be interesting to know. So you can tell me as I'm talking. So, okay, so her boyfriend filed a restraining order. I don't want to go into the restraining order. I want to go into the idea on the topic of moving fast. I think, she divorced. If you look in, like, on the website, she has been divorced since 2019. Now, from that time, she's been dating this guy, 2019. So in the process of going through a divorce, she was dating And by all accounts, I mean, she was hot and heavy into this guy. Um, you know, by all accounts, her ex-husband is physically nothing like her boyfriend. So, of course, she was always talking about my teddy bear, but evidently she was head over heels with him. And now moving forward, she's been dealing with some mental health issues, and he's filed a restraining order. And I just want to know, does anyone else think she needs to sit down? Does anyone else think that she moved too fast? And I say this because I see this with friends and acquaintances and family members and colleagues when they're going through a breakup. I am the school of thought that close one chapter, give yourself time to reflect on the situation, give yourself time to heal, to reflect, kind of do a mental autopsy so that moving forward what kind of relationship you want next time. What is it did you bring to the table regarding why it ended? What did you allow to happen, or what did you accept, or what part did you play that the relationship ended? Because when relationships end, it's not a matter necessarily of this person did this to me or that necessarily. It's uh, moving parts, and we're human, and we will play a part into why things, whether it's lack of communication, we have a part to play, whether we accepted something, allowed something, checked out. Even people check out of relationships. Did you just give up? So sometimes you need to figure those things out before moving into another relationship. I feel like sometimes people don't want to be alone and sit with themselves, and the easiest way to deal with not dealing in silence is to find somebody else. And I just feel like she did what a lot of people do, males and females, is getting into a relationship even before the current relationship ends, and really not giving yourself time to either mourn or really deal with some of the things that attributed to the demise of, in this case, a marriage, especially when there's a small child involved. I think it I think that there should be a bit more, I don't know, care or consideration maybe when there's a child. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm not saying she didn't do that, but I don't know. That's my school of thought. I know a lot. I always tell people, don't substitute your thought process for mine. And a lot of people feel like when it's over, and I'm ready to move on. But it just seems that I think of sometimes you don't give yourself time to think about what it is you really want when you're moving into another relationship, not ending the current relationship. So I wasn't married. It wasn't legal then. We own property. And take okay, so you think she's doing Logan a disservice? Well, a lot of people do this. I mean, there's a lot of people who are in long-term relationships. There are a lot of people who are in marriages where, both parties part ways, and they're both even in relationships. And we're not talking about just casually dating. We're talking about like living together and, introducing the kid, um, all of that. So that becomes such a muddying the waters, so to speak. And it's like, do you think And just think, I mean, think about in your own lives with your own people. Think about people you know, maybe even yourself. If you jump into one relationship, not finishing up the current relationship. I mean, some people have a very fine line, like I'm not moving until the ink is dry on this, which is okay. And I can understand and respect that. But I'm just saying, giving yourself the mental, like, breather, because I don't know how you can really give somebody your time and you when you're still dealing with somebody else. And especially when there's a small child involved and all those emotions. I'm sorry it ended horribly, and I don't think it matters if it's a, a gay partnership or a heterosexual partnership. Relationships are just can get ugly in general. Um, I'm just saying that when you jump into another relationship, is it doing you any good when you haven't mentally broken off the relationship you are at currently? Doesn't matter if you're married. I mean, if you were with someone for 15 years, that's a long time to be with someone. And then, even if you physically have separated, but you're still dealing with, like you said, the property and all these other things and having to maneuver if there are children involved. How can you really give yourself to someone else, mind, body, and spirit, when you are still entangled in a relationship? I just don't know. And it just seems like she had a lot on her plate. And then you see what she was dealing with in general with work and her family. How do you do that? Feelings. Well, listen, I think they go hand in hand. I mean, when you start talking about property and all that stuff, it can get real ugly because it can get it can get real ugly. I always say there's never a problem until it's a problem. It gets to be a real problem when your name is attached to property and ownership and all of that stuff. So yeah, the love gets lost real fast when you can't make a clean break. That is for sure. That is for sure. Not too many people can just make a break unless you are young and you don't have no assets and no children together, or y'all had a post-nup, which I highly recommend anybody who's of a certain age. I talk to my friends, and I would either get a prenup or a post-nup. If you are in a relationship and you have heirs, yeah, you need to divide that money. You need to make sure that yours is yours and theirs is theirs, so that when you leave, yours stays as yours and theirs stays as theirs. Yeah, I highly believe it. And that has nothing to do with, oh, well, you must not love me. No, I need to secure my assets. That's just smart. That's just being smart. I can still love you though. One has nothing to do with the other. See? What's the difference? What do you mean? What's the difference between, what do you mean? What's the difference? I didn't get your statement. What's the difference? I don't think I mean, yeah, I think feelings are one thing. I think that too many times people put a lot of emotion and they don't make sound decisions. Prenup and post-nup. Oh, the prenup is before you get married, and the post-nup is during the marriage. So you can, if you don't do a prenup, you can get what's called a post-nup, and this is after the marriage. So a lot of people don't do it, but you can, And this is sitting down and ironing out your assets and dividing up what you want to stay as yours. I mean, hey, at the moment, I have adult children. So if something happened and I was newly single, right? I have adult children and I have grandchildren. So I have heirs, right? So if I was to decide to remarry, I personally would get a prenup. Okay. But in some cases, say you do get a prenup, you may decide that you decide that maybe you have a business venture and you really don't want to have your spouse involved, or there could be some situations where your spouse isn't going to be involved. You can have a postnup. Or am I what? Oh, thank you. I'm having a hair day today. It started out as a cute braid out, and then Mother Nature decided to mist and rain, and now I got this. And we're doing, we're working with it, whatever it is. I'm gonna twist it down, but I still had to go through the day. So you can have a post now, and get assets separated. So you can do a post nup. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. But no, I mean, I'm not newly single. I'm very married. I said my hubby partner went home. I'm here locked up in the office, getting ready to study. I'm procrastinating, talking to you guys. But yeah, you can get a post nup. A lot of people don't do it. Ah, I know. You know what? People are still mourning about my hair. I still have friends that when they see me and they're like, I miss your locks. And I'm like, yeah, they're in a bag and they're gone. It's over. But look at this, look, it's so cute. Look at this. I told you, look, don't sleep on this. Don't sleep on this. So yeah. So yeah, you can get a post up. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for dropping in. So I really want to know if anybody wants to participate, because I really want to know. So do you think that more often than not people move too fast going into the next relationship, or am I just crazy and too old fashioned? Because I believe in taking your time. I do. I believe in taking your time. I'm a take your time kind of girl. I'm like, what's the rush? I've never been that person to just dive in. I'm not that jump into the shallow water cannonball into the pool kind of girl. I'm a dip your toe and check out the temperature and we'll see what happens kind of girl. So I think that all, and they're always talking about these signs, and she's a Pisces just like I am. So I don't know. Thank you. Yeah, thumbs up the video. So I'm just curious because I'm interested to know. This happens a lot. And another thing, so that's one side. So here's another thing. So now, what is going on with our women who are getting these non-industry men, and they are not doing you're cautious now? Yes, be cautious. Be cautious and be smart and vet everything. And yeah, that's good. What is going on with our women who are getting involved in non-industry men, and they don't seem to be serving them well? So I'm just throwing it off. So we got Sherry Shepherd, right? Mary J. Blige, right? Who else? Well, now Tamar Braxton. Who else? We seem to have women who are picking these guys, and they don't seem to be able to hold their own. So evidently, he was supposed to be this financial guy, yet they were living in a hotel. And I think one of the reasons why she was under a lot of pressure was because they were living in this hotel, on the verge of getting kicked out. She was owing like 25. Like, why are you living in a hotel? You live in Atlanta, and maybe you're not making Kardashian money, but you are making some money. And you're trying to tell me that you could not buy yourself a decent home in Atlanta that could be either in a gated community or in a place that is of some seclusion, since you are a celebrity, and have your lifestyle fit more of a balance, because obviously you were living above your means when you were in California, right? Because when she was going back and forth between California and Atlanta. So crazy in love, not me. No, don't entangle your finances. Keep them separate. Absolutely. I think after a certain age, if you have not, if this is your later in life relationship, I don't think anybody should commingle their finances. I don't think it's I don't think it's financially sound. I don't I don't I don't recommend it. If you're not a young couple moving through life together, trying to find your way, I would not recommend uh, commingling your finances. If you were single, you never married, in your 30s, financially secure, and you find a partner, I would not commingle my finances. Um, and definitely, if you had a whole life and then you find somebody, I would not commingle my finances. I would not, in this stage of my life, if I was to meet somebody, commingle my finances. There's no way I would do that. Mm-mm. No, we could commingle some finances, but I could not commingle my assets. Let's put it that way. I couldn't see that happening because, like I said, I have to protect my family. So thank you. But yeah, and this is the time where, it's funny because I see so many people not wanting to spend money on good counsel. And when I mean good counsel, I mean an attorney, an accountant, um, people who have skill sets that you don't have, who do things day in and day out that can help you and navigate you to make sure that you are taking care of your business and doing it to save money. Nobody wants to get an attorney, but yet you'll spend money on frivolous things. And I'm like, but you have some things that you want to protect, that you might want to give to your family when you go. Why wouldn't you spend money taking care of that or seeing an accountant? Why is spending money on an accountant not something on your radar, but you'll spend money on shoes or spend money on hair? And I'm not saying those things are bad. I'm just putting in perspective. You'll go and find out what the best deal is on things that are really not going to serve you in the long term. I mean, yeah, I guess, you can get a good deal on bundles, but how long is that going to last you? Whereas if you find a good accountant, the accountant can save you a lot of money in the long run, and I'm sorry, but to me, if you're beyond the 1040 easy form and you got, some other things going, you probably should invest in an accountant. Probably should. Yeah, probably should. I'm just saying, you know, people will spend money on certain things that, like I said, is fleeting and is perishable. I'm not saying you shouldn't look nice and dress nice and all that, but don't sleep on the essentials. That's what I'm saying. And if you have made some money and have gathered some assets, you should get people who know what they're doing, who will save you money. Like you said, you learn the long and hard way, and it can cost you when you don't know what you're doing, because most of us don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. Have no. Yeah, you can lose a lot because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know anything about tax law and all these laws that come out. We're not in the business. We're just doing our own particular jobs in our own particular industry. So I don't know. I try to talk to people. And can I just say, because I don't know who's all here, there's five of us, and I said I wanted five people at least. Thank you for the thumbs up. And this is the thing. This is one of the things that I have wanted to break in my own life growing up, because we always talk about people of color being at a disadvantage and all that stuff. And my thing is, we have more access to knowledge now more than ever before. Yet, what we don't do is what a lot of other people do, which is sit down and talk about money. Now, I can just tell you that when you look at other ethnicities, you'll see well, if you have 5 to 10 grand to invest, oh, that's a good one. Me, I mean, um, depending on where you live, I always say first try to invest in real estate, because all across the United States, there is no inventory. All across the United States, there is no inventory. Oh, New York State, I'm a New York girl. Born and raised, I'm a Queens girl. And I know right now, tax sales are running rampant right now. I live in Indiana, so right now, the tax sales are going crazy right now, as far as it's getting ready to come up. Because okay, Manhattan, yeah, I was born in the Bronx, raised in Queens, yeah, okay. So, but again, first thing, okay, you want to know okay, here's the thing. Great question. The first thing you should do is invest in yourself with education. That is the first thing I would suggest. So if you have money, hey, Mr. Wise, hello. If you have any money and you have some interest, I would, and I'm not talking about infomercials or anything like that. I would, and it doesn't, and at this time it doesn't cost. Oh, Suffolk County. Now I grew up in Jamaica, Queens, so I'm very familiar with Suffolk County. Yes, I am. Green Acres Mall. We're hanging out over there. Yes, I'm very familiar. So I I want people to invest in themselves first. That is the first thing I want people to do. Invest in yourself in learning. And that may be, dare I say, we may have to, okay, hey, Houston, you may actually have to get a book and do some reading, okay, and learn. You may have to do that. That's the first thing, is invest in yourself. I don't recommend anybody going out haphazardly doing anything. That's whether it's in stocks or real estate, or if it's you know types of fun, want to do things like art, or anything that revolves around money that you don't have a familiarity with. You need to invest in yourself. So if all of a sudden you see, oh great, what in your what degree? What are you getting your bachelor's in? That's fantastic. Bravo, that's fantastic. So if you want to learn about real estate, this is where you need to go online. And oh good, psychology. A lot of people have realtor friends, and just kind of pick their brain in the market. National Association of Realtors, you can learn a lot from there. Just to getting facts and information. And just kind of start from there. You are not old. And I've said being old is relative. Things are changing and people are working longer. People are changing jobs. No one is getting a job at 25, staying there until they're 60. People are changing. I think now the average job change is 5 times. And people now, they're changing jobs. There's no job loyalty. I mean, there's no job loyalty. People are changing jobs and changing careers. So I think it's great. But investing, some people don't know exactly what investing and stuff. Well, that's true. But the first thing is just getting knowledge. So if it's in, I know people will like to go and they want to invest in, fine art and things like that, or the stock market. You need to do some reading. You have to read. I hate to say it, but you have to read. So if you're going to spend any money, it would be in investing yourself before you go out there and um and invest some real money into things, because you can buy a money pit of something. You can buy a money pit of something. So you got to know what you want. Hey, just read my book. Hey. So, it just depends. What is it you want to invest in? And then do your research. So that takes time and understanding. So that's what I would say. Investing in yourself. And a lot of people just want to, I'm sorry, but it's not, and invest in your talent. What is your talent that can make you money? And there's so many avenues now that can make you money. But what I was saying before was, so many people don't talk about money, and wealthy people talk about money. When they talk about what is the difference between someone who has money and other people, people who don't have money. I mean, like money, wealth, say. Wealthy people talk about money all the time. It's normal business dinner conversation. Oh, okay. Oh, that's fantastic. You invest in your animation. And the animation can be graphics, it can be illustrations of books and things. It can be a lot of things. I believe in multiple streams of income. So you've got one talent or maybe one thing that you do. You can find ways to branch that out that can make you money. And then what you can also do is find ways, the best way is to find ways to make you money while you are sleeping. Those are the best ways, because there's money to be made that requires you to do something or to take action. But the best multiple streams of income is the kind that doesn't require you, whether it is a book or some kind of, instructional manual or some kind of product that you can put out there that is produced that people will buy, and you're sleeping. So, those are the great multiple streams of income. So that's what I like. And I'm still working on that too. So, but part is your talent and what you bring and what you can produce, but also the multiple streams of income is what you can make when you are not doing anything. When you are out on vacation or you're taking care of your family and money is still being made on your behalf. Those are the best investments that you can make. So, and that will take, whatever your, like you said, your gifts or your talents, and find ways, innovative ways to bundle those things. Yeah, you can make merch and watch the money flow. Yeah, absolutely. And find ways to do physical merch and digital merch, you know? So those are different ways. Okay, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's fantastic. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for those of you who have walked in. So me, I mean, I grew up in a family that we didn't talk about anything. It was none of your business. You're a kid, it's none of your business. And I know that there was, I think a lot of it was not having the money savvy. So it was really easy to tell a kid it's none of your business, because if you didn't know, saying I don't know, I guess didn't sound like an adult thing to do. But saying none of your business because I'm the adult and you're the child seemed like it's a more crafty thing to say. But I left home with very minimum ideas about money, and realizing that when I became an adult and I was afforded being in other social circles, and realizing that people who have money talk to their children about money. They do the complete opposite. They teach their children about money. They are very clear to their children about what money is, what money does, what money affords them. Thank you. Thank you. And that here's a good example. And you probably have seen it. So, and I'm only saying this because this is the only frame of reference I can use. But, where I live, we have, a lot of Greek restaurants. And I went for lunch. I think it was a working lunch. I had a client, and this kid, who I swear was probably no older than 11, was working the cash register. So I come up and with my money and my receipt, he takes my money and receipt, and he's working the cash register. He asks me how was my meal, and he gives me my change. And yeah, actually it'll be 3 in January. It'll be 3 years in January. Thank you. You've been watching me for a while. Oh, you just saw my YouTube where it says how long I've been here. But he said, have a good day. So this kid, who's not even a teenager yet, is in the family business, working the cash register, handling money, interacting with customers. This kid is one day gonna probably get the restaurant, right? But at, I don't know, 11, 12 at the most, he's running, he's working. He's working. He's working, and he's probably learning the ins and outs of the business. His dad is probably sitting down with him, showing him the spreadsheets, what he does at the end of the month or the end of the week, or showing him payroll. He's probably showing him all the things that it costs as far as time and what it takes to run the business. And this kid was 11. Okay. Yet You know, some of us didn't even have parents that would tell us how much it costs to run our household. So I did things differently because I wanted my children to understand and respect money. You can't respect money if you don't know the value of money. It's not just um, buying stuff. It's commodity, right? So when my kids, I don't know, maybe about yeah, self-promotion it is. Oh, good, good. So, I think my kids were about 10, right? So, you know, old enough to understand and play Monopoly, negotiate, and all that stuff. So, I think one of my kids was asking for something, and I said, well, I have to see because I have to do the budget and we'll have to see because there's some other things that need to be taken care of at the rest of the month. So let's just see. I'll put it on the list. I'll let you know. And I could tell they were a little frustrated. And so I said, you know what? This is what we're going to do. So that's okay. That's okay. There's something for everyone. So what I did was I got the mail and I sat down with my kids, husband and I. We sat down and we just, just like, just like got some mail, right? And I just said, listen, I'm just going to tell you, okay? I am the CFO of this house. All right? I am the financial officer of this house. And I ran the cash for my uncle's home. There you go. There you go. Yeah. And we need more of that. But you got to own something in order to be able to teach your 9-year-old to run something in order for them to even have an entrepreneurial spirit. That's good, Mr. Wise. That's good. Hey, that's good. You know, I always say if you focus on you, you ain't got to worry about everybody else. But we sat down and I said, listen, I'm the CFO of this house. Okay, I'm the chief financial officer of this house. So I have to run this house accordingly. Okay. And I understand you want things, okay, but I know what the bottom line is. And so since I'm the person in charge and I have to make sure everything runs the way it needs to run, I just want you to understand what I'm working with. Okay. So listen, this is how much it costs. And I just want you to understand that there's a certain amount of money that needs to be made in order for this house to run. Okay. And when I mean run, I mean the lights to be on, for us to stay in the house. Okay. For the water to run, for the garbage to get picked up, for the electricity, for you to enjoy the hot water, all this stuff. This is for the house to run. Okay. We haven't bought any toilet paper. Okay. We haven't done any of that yet, but we're going to talk about that. So I want to show you. So here's this bill, and here's this bill, and here's this bill, and here's this bill. Here's this bill. You see right here, right now, not all the bills have come in yet, but add it up. I want you to look and add it up, and you tell me how much it all comes out. And so they added it up, and I made them add it up. Oh, thank you, Mr. Wise. I appreciate. I haven't been on Twitter forever. But I've been on IG. I posted on IG. Oh, that's that's okay. Um, and I had them added up, and I said, so listen, this is how much the house costs. This is how much it costs to run this home, and we haven't put any food in the fridge. I haven't bought anything important, replenished anything, any supplies, and we haven't even taken care of you. Okay? So these are all the things that are necessary to just run the house. All right? So I just want you to understand, all right? When you ask me for something, understand this stuff has to get taken care of first. All right? And I will try to meet some of your wants, but these have to get taken care of first. And when you explain that, then they understand that there's some money involved. You know, absolutely. Both my girls are good at money management. They learn. Yeah, and that's another great thing. There is no one way to get to the destination. There's so many different ways. Now, I'm a big fan of Dave Ramsey. I know a lot of people may find him a bit radical, but I think when you may have not had good money management, some of the basics, especially when you're trying to get yourself out of trouble, Dave Ramsey is a great way. And like I said, there's so many other different ways. This is where you need to go in a good old fashioned bookstore and just peruse and find something and sit down and read and see if it's something, because a money management tool is not going to be helpful if it doesn't resonate with you. There's certain things, because it's not going to resonate. For me, I am a very simple. Yeah, my grandmother told me. Okay, so this is my mom and my grandmother told me to pay myself first. Okay, that was it. And pay my tithes. That was it. you know that was it. Pay myself first and to save. So I've always been a saver. I've never ever ran my pockets dry. So that has been very. And live within your means. Pay yourself first and live within your means. Now, she didn't really elaborate what live within your means meant. She just said live within your means. I had to figure out what living within my means meant. I had to figure that out because it isn't as cut and dry necessarily. You got to find your way. But yeah, yeah. But yeah, so I started talking to my kids very early on because I wanted them to respect money, and you can't respect something you don't understand. And many of us, uh, hey, we all, you know what? You should be learning. Everybody should be learning every day. Everybody. No, I think if you're not learning and not growing, then you just kind of dying a little bit inside. But you should be working on something, something. But I think you can't respect money if you don't understand it. And many people don't understand money. A lot of people, put the wrong value on money, and in that they don't treat money properly. And if you don't treat money properly, it will show. I think it shows. It shows when you don't treat money properly. I've been guilty of not treating money properly, and I know what has done, what I have gotten out of it, the catastrophe that's gotten out of it. And I'm not saying you got to make really bad decisions. I'm just saying that not respecting money and putting money in the proper place of what it should be as a means to garner and secure things in exchange of goods and services, and knowing that money is to be made and saved. And there are a lot of people who make money. And another thing is money is not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. I know a lot of high earners that are broke. One of the best books, okay, so one of the best books that I ever read, because I am a reader, was The Millionaire Next Door. So that is, again, it's one of those practical books, is an old book, and has the millionaire woman next door. And really the premise of it is that the millionaire, the average millionaire is not, the average millionaire is not the person who's in the big house and driving the Tesla, or whatever car you think is, the it car, or the BMW, or, whatever. It's, believe it or not, it's a school teacher or someone that, it's not necessarily a doctor. So reading that book really gave me some practical understanding about how people handle money. Hey, Nuri, hi. We just going. We started out with Tamar. Now we're talking about money. We're just talking about money now. But so that was one of the first books that I read. Okay. So when do you when do you do to graduate, Yoli? You said you're not too far. Okay, listening, eating. Oh, that's good. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. So yeah, so it's a matter of what you can keep. Most people spend too much money on a house. Most people spend far too much money on a car. Uh, most people live in a way, they graduate into promotions before really they're financially ready. Um, Most people buy too much house. Most people buy a car that they really can't afford. And most people don't have enough savings, just in general. And that's just stats. That's just stats. Um, that's just general stats. But being house poor, and in the Millionaire Next Door, they talk about living in your home being the most expensive um, thing you can buy. Oh, I'm sorry. You'll be able to bounce back. You'll be able to bounce back. Um, being Buying a house that is in a high income area, and what that all brings. If you depending on where you live, if you live in a subdivision or in a city where the houses are a lot, then there's a lot of times people will try to keep up with the Joneses. They will try to keep up with the Joneses, and the Joneses are broke too. Trying to keep up with the Joneses. Hey, hon. Hey, Michaeline. So trying to keep up with the Joneses, and the Joneses are broke too. Thank you for the thumbs up, and it's a mess. There was a commercial. Oh my gosh, I forgot what it was about, but there was a commercial, and it was this guy. He was riding on a riding lawnmower. It was about maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago. And he's on this beautiful lawnmower, and he's doing this, and he's got this, plastered grin on his face. And he's like, I am so broke. I don't know what I'm going to do. I I just can't afford this. I mean, it was just, and it was a commercial, but it's like, that's a lot of people. They look really good and shiny, and they look like they got it all together, but they are living hand to mouth. And I'm not talking about, they are well over in thousands of dollars in credit cards, and don't know how they're going to make the minimum on credit cards, yet they're still using their credit cards and taking vacations that they shouldn't take. Thank you for the thumbs up. And they're just trying to live a lifestyle that they can't afford. And there are a lot of people who are living a lifestyle that they can't afford in many ways, whether it's the car or the house or the trips or the clothes. They're doing something that is robbing them of their future. So Yeah, they're robbing Peter to pay Paul. They're robbing Mark. They done on the slide and asked Luke, and Luke don't know that Mark already gave some money just to pay Paul. Yeah, they done asked a whole bunch of people. They done asked a whole bunch of people. So yeah. So I it's important, I think, to but I have seen that other cultures talk to their kids about money, and they're not afraid to talk about money. And wealthy people talk to their kids about money. It's normal dinner conversation. And I think for many of us of color, if we want to do something differently, we have to change behaviors and habits and really have some understanding. Oh good, that's fine. And really have to have those conversations. My uncle and his wife making them. I was borrowing money from my mom. See, that's what I'm saying right there. Right there. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. And you know what, right there, that is not uncommon. It's not. And by all accounts, they probably look like they got it going on. And they're borrowing from someone who really need that money for themselves, right? And that's not an exception story, unfortunately. It's not an exception story. So, yeah. So I'm sorry to hear that, but yeah, it is. Yeah, like Yoli said, sad but true. So, yeah. So, yeah, I would say, start talking to your, yeah, was there a party to go to? See, and broke. Yeah, just like I said, broke. Yeah, don't need to take that vacation. You can't afford it. I remember, what was it? Oh, I can't think of it. Oh, Susie Orman. Yeah. Well, I don't even know if she has the show anymore. And she would have this thing where she would have the call-ins, and they would say, "Hey, Susie, I got this much in my house, this much, and this, and I really wanted to spend the money on this." And she would tell them if they could or not. And and they had stuff, I don't, how much is in your 401k, or how much is, how much you got saved, and most people don't even have that. And she would tell them, Susie be like, "No, girlfriend, you can't do it. No, boyfriend, you can't do it. No." And she would always have that segment. It was so funny because it would have like this little boy or this little girl, and they were dressed up like in adult clothes, little, and it's like, all right, we're going to talk to your inner child who's kicking and screaming because you want this boat or you want this. And it was like, can I afford it? And she would tell them if they could or not. Yeah, but see, here's the thing. So, your mom is up there in age, and it's like, okay, so who's going to take care of her? And that's the sad thing. And here's the thing. So, if I was a friend, right? If I was a friend and I found out that situation, I'd be like, why are you asking your mom for money? Why aren't you selling something? Or why aren't you uh, getting another job? Why are you asking your poor mother, who does not have the time to income? Her income earning time is over, more than likely. So her money is her money. And I'd be like, so you getting another job? What you doing? Are you doing another, what are you doing? Are you selling some stuff? Because I'm sure you probably could sell some stuff or downsize some stuff to pay off some of that debt. I'm sure you could. Cause Rich Dad Poor Dad was the Rich Dad Poor Dad was the very first book I ever read. Very first book I ever read. And I have to say, it is the thing that kickstarted my husband his entrepreneurial spirit. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki is a fantastic book. And he talks about, thank you, Michaeline. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is another fantastic book. And it's a quick read. It's about him talking about the two dads. And he had poor dad. His poor dad was talking about, the mentality of, go to school, get a good job, be loyal, and retire with a pension. And his friend had the rich dad. And he was in the book talked about the two different ideals between the rich dad, which was his friend's dad, and his poor dad, and learning from both dads. So, and talks about the four quadrants about being an employee, an entrepreneur, an investor, and self-employed, and going into the four quadrants. So that is a really great, easy read. I met Robert Kiyosaki. I bought the board game for the kids. I bought the book. I felt like Oprah. I bought the book. I handed it out to a couple of my friends. Okay, good for you. Yeah, why have all that house? Why have all that house? Yeah, I'm like, I'm 50. I don't want to be in my 60s with a mortgage. Nope, not at all. And I do want, where I'm at is not my dream home, but my dream home can't have a mortgage. I just say, it can't have a mortgage. That's all I'm saying. And it just can't have a mortgage because I'm not going to be in my 60s paying a mortgage. I don't even want to be in my 50s paying a mortgage. How about that? I'm putting that out in the atmosphere. I don't want to be in my 50s paying a mortgage. No. And when I move into my dream home, my forever home, it's not going to have a mortgage. I'm not trying to have that. That book changed how you dealt with money? Yeah. Yeah. So Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and The Millionaire Next Door. Those are, and that has nothing really to do about investments. You know what it has to do with? Both of those books, mindset, just how you view money, how you view money, just practical things. Doesn't talk about anything specific about stocks or bonds or real estate or anything. It's just about how you approach money. So yeah, thank you, Michaeline. Yeah, that was actually the very first book I read. And I gave it to my husband after I read it. I said, you got to read this book. And then it so resonated with him that he never looked back. He is a true entrepreneur, and his goal has always been to be an investor, and that's where his heart is. So yeah, he's loved that book. Yeah, that's a very good book to give out. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got. We end up talking about money. My mom brought her house making minimum wage. Yeah, and I met a client and we got to talking about Dave Ramsey, and she is a Dave Ramsey devotee, and it's done her well, because she's done well as far as investing in property, and she does not mind taking her time and making. She does a lot of things. She does everything in cash. First book I picked up on my own is this. Oh, The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump. Still worth a read. Don't shoot the messenger, get the message. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes a good message can be said from an unlikely messenger. I will say that. Sometimes the messenger gets muddied with the message, but hey, if you said if that's a good book, then that's a great recommendation. You can get that at the library or download it on Amazon. So thank you for the suggestion. Nothing wrong with that. What was your one? Can you tell us? Just read my book. What was the one takeaway from that book? Give me one nugget of one gem that you were like, now that's something right there. If you can think of it, just give us one gem that has been really good. And the thing about with Donald Trump, because a lot of people talked about his bankruptcies and things. It's funny because a lot of stuff that ended up happening, especially with the recession, people of money were already doing. I mean, don't use your personal resources to back your endeavors. Yeah, okay, okay, okay. There you go. And sometimes that is good. If you can use other people's money to fund your dreams, that is ideal. If you don't have to use your own money, that is ideal. So whether that be a loan or someone wants to invest in you and you don't have to use your money with very low interest, ideally, that would be great. Okay, so don't use your personal resources to back your endeavors. And see, what ends up happening for many people of color is that we don't have resources and we don't have personal resources, right? And then we don't have people who can invest in us. Think about it. So, I can't think of his name now because we're talking, right? So the guy who did Fubu, who's one of the sharks, right? And I think his mom invested in him. I think his mom gave him the seed money for his business for Fubu, right? And we all know that Donald Trump, yeah, uh, uh, and we all know Donald Trump got money from his dad. But wealthy people give their children money, right? To do something, and if you're really wealthy for tax purposes, you need to give some money away in general. So let's just say I think uh 10,000 I think is the cap. Damon. Yeah, Damon. So say 10,000. I got to give $10,000 away, right? So what better thing to do is I'm going to give my kid 10,000. Listen, I got 10,000 I'm going to give you. I would prefer you to use it as seed money. What is it do you want to do? Use it to invest in yourself. So I'm going to give you $10,000. What can you do with $10,000? Okay. But most of us don't have the money to invest in ourselves, or we don't have the extended family to invest in us. Okay, do your research on the person or representative company you are going to meet. That is definitely what you want to do. Yes, definitely. Whether it's an interview or it's just something you want to move forward, whether you want to network even, um, you want to pitch something, you want to make sure you want to understand their mission statement, you want to understand their goals, you want to understand if their initiative is in alignment with what you want to do and what you have. So say you have something that you want to pitch, right? And you want to see what is their mission statement. Is it in line with your brand? So you have a brand and you may want to do something with them. Is it going to align with your goals? Because you have goals and you should have a mission statement as well. So yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. I would agree with that. If you're going to move forward, everyone should start in a home business. You can have your kids work for you and write off up to 1099. I gave my kids a 1099 cutting grass. Sure did. We had properties. I gave them a 1099 at 14 and 15. I sure did. This money ain't free. I gotta pay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 1099. Yes, absolutely. Now my son was on the payroll as an employee. I didn't 1099 him last year. He actually made the payroll, so took out taxes and all that stuff. So yeah. We took out taxes last year and he made the payroll this year. So yeah. Oh yeah. And oh, good point. Where's my phone? What do I do with it? I have someone. She's really good on YouTube. I've met her. She's feisty and really smart. She's I met her. I don't know how old her YouTube channel is, but I met her through a seminar. Hey, Miss Tivolosity, how are you, love? Okay, so I met her a while ago. I want to see um, if I can find her channel real fast. And she does a lot of stuff about money. And see if I can find it. Forgive me. Let me see if I can find it this way. I've been thinking I need to clean up my subscriptions. Oh, good. I don't know. We've been talking about money. Do you have any we were talking about books that have been good information about just money, just learning about money values. One recommendation was The Millionaire Next Door, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The other one was Art of the Deal. And do you have a book that, when learning about money, that was valuable to you? Gosh, I can't find it now. Of course, now that I'm looking for it, I can't find it. If I don't find it while we're talking, I will put it in the comments after the live. I will put her name. But we're just talking about really talking to your kids about money, understanding money, respecting just the general basics, respecting money and all of that stuff. So I can't find it right now, and I know she had posted something. I saw so many people have posted stuff that I can't find it now from the day. But I will make sure to put her name during the comments after the live because we're going to probably end. It's we went over an hour and I wasn't even expecting to go that long because like I said, I got to study. I was procrastinating, but I'm going to study after this. I really so, you know how it is. I got up, not really, but I'm trying to learn more about stock investments. Well, you know what? That's good because one of the questions were, what would you do with $5,000 to $10,000? What would you invest in? And the thing I said was invest in yourself. I do not recommend anybody to do anything without first gaining some education. We all want to just go and just buy something and really not take the time to do the research. Okay, good. Not take the time to do the research and really just learn, learn, absorb, really just take the time and get the knowledge. And dare I say it may require looking at a book because so many of us don't want to pick up a book nowadays because we're so used to being in front of social media and all of that, that reading a book, like a book, that's a lot. So, gosh, I feel bad that I can't find it. This is what I'm like, I need to clean up my subscriptions. What are all these postings? But yeah, that was what I was talking about. But invest in yourself first. That's the number one thing. And then you know what? When you can get around other people who you think probably is stock options for short-term investments, oh, that's good. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, when he did a interview with Barbara Walters in the early 80s, he said he was going to be president. He had mentioned it before. I always think of like the Manchurian Candidate, that old movie, The Manchurian Candidate. I always think about that. But he had talked about that in the I think it might have been the mid 80s about being president. So I mean, it might be a surprise to some people. I mean, that night it was a surprise for him because if you look at the photos, he was shocked that he actually did it. But yeah, he had mentioned about becoming president. Hmm. He kind of laughed it off, but he was serious. He's always serious. So yeah, so I can't find it. I've been scrolling for a while. Yeah, he was surprised because if you look at those still photos, just on his body, yes, we talked about paying yourself first. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, we did. We talked about that. Some of the things, some of the takeaways our parents gave us. It wasn't a lot, but you know, the little bit that they did give us, my mom did do that. It served me well. It wasn't a lot, but like I said, she at least taught me not to run my pockets dry. So she did do that, and I'm very, very grateful because that has saved me in a lot of situations. I've always been a saver, so I'm very I'm not a spontaneous shopper. I can, which is terrible at Costco. Oh, yeah, well, it's not too far fetched from today, but yeah, I'm gonna put in there because I still haven't found her. But uh, oh, I lost my train of thought. I'm getting tired. But yeah, we did talk about that, but saving is I've never been a spontaneous I haven't been a spontaneous shopper. I always take my time. But in Costco, it's while supplies last. So, I'll see something and go, we'll see. And then I'll come back and I'll say, "Oh, well, I was looking for such a thing." They're like, "Oh yeah, we're out." Oh, okay. Well, do you know when you're gonna have it again? We're probably not gonna restock it. So that's what ends up happening to me. So I lose out. So I'm not an impulse buyer. I've never been that kind of person. I'm not someone that goes shopping and does all that. So, I usually like when it comes to like clothes and I have to shop with a purpose. I'm just not. I don't. I always I always say my daughter shops for sport and recreation. I have to shop for a need. I mean, I have clothes. Why do I need to buy more clothes? Okay, I only got one body. Like really, why do I need to buy more clothes? So yeah. So I have one. I mean, I have like it's insane. Like I thought I was gonna lose my woman card. I think I may have 8 pairs of shoes, and that's counting boots and 2 pairs of sneakers. Because thank you for the thumbs up. Like I don't need all those shoes. What for what? I I bought some closed toe shoes because I needed them. That was it. But I'm not buying shoes. I don't. That's not what I do. So, yeah, I'm not. I'm not that girl. I mean, I like to look nice, and I have nice clothes, but I just don't go around shopping. Oh yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's terrible. I mean, I have clothes, but I mean, I'm not a minimalist. But Yeah, I'm compared to my friends, I'm not even close. Not even close. So yeah, that's all. It was ridiculous. He was embarrassed. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, I have friends that literally have 200 pairs of shoes. And if it wasn't for the fact that I have big feet, I'm like, well, listen, whenever you want to rotate some of them out, you know, you don't like them anymore, you can pass them to me, but I got big feet, so I don't get to enjoy. No one gets to pass them around me, so I don't get to enjoy somebody's hand me downs. I mean, if you got 200 pairs of shoes, you ain't really wearing them very often, right? It isn't happening. Your feet is not making the rounds that much. Right? That's what I'm saying. Number one. That's what I'm saying. You just buying stuff and it's just looking pretty. So I'm sure I could get some real new shoes. Like, girl, I wore them like once. Or girl, I just bought them thinking I was gonna wear them for something. I ain't even worn them yet. Yeah, I thought I was gonna end up that way, but no, I haven't been lucky yet. I haven't been yet lucky yet. So yeah. So you was gonna do it. That's a big thing doing an online store. That's really in doing an online store. You should consider it. There's so many, and I don't, there's like those third party things where you can do it. But oh wow, yeah. Well, listen, look, okay, so I'm not against you say shopping in your closet. So this is how bad I am, right? So anytime there's an event, okay, first things first. Anytime there's an event, the first thing I do is go to my closet, right? Because first I'll go and look and see, is there something that I can wear that's for this event? And I'll go, okay, I've worn this before. I like it. Okay. So then I'll say, well, you know what? I got this. I'll go shopping. And if I have not found anything nearly as nice as what I have in my closet, I'll just go wear it again that's in my closet, because that's what's going to happen in November. My niece is getting married, and I'm officiating her wedding. And I was looking to see what is it I could get. Now I have not been in the mall since the Rona, right? And I'm in no rush to go in the mall. And I have this dress, and it was so funny because it came up on my timeline, and I made a comment that I think I'm going to wear the dress again because I don't really see anything nearly as nice for the event of what I have already. And I wore this dress 2 years ago for the same situation. It's a beautiful dress. It's a dark navy blue. It's got embellishments, so I don't have to wear jewelry. It's a full length, because I'm in an official capacity, but yet I can still dance in it afterwards. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to find anything nicer when I go shopping. Plus, I don't want to go to the mall. So, so I got thumbs up on the dress. I think I'm just going to wear that dress. I mean, I've only worn it once. Who cares? I don't care. And it's still nice. So that's what I'm probably going to do. Unless I go and something is just a showstopper, but I don't see it happening. I don't see anything happening. I don't see it being nicer than what I already have. That's all I'm saying. So, and it's not even a matter of being cheap. It's a matter of I have something. I don't feel the need to buy something unless, yeah, I mean, I don't feel the need to buy something if it can't top something I already have for the same situation. I just don't see it. It's a beautiful dress. So I just don't see myself changing it. Now, what I'm hoping is that maybe I have to alter it a little bit because I lost some weight. But that's it. That's it. Yeah, I mean, people are shopping, but I have no desire to go shopping. I don't. I went shopping for some new clothes, because I had lost some weight and I didn't have some clothes in the new position that I've been doing. So I need, because I've been more in an office capacity rather than out of the office capacity. And when I'm out of the office, I can wear jeans and sneakers because I was kind of more of a field person. And now I'm more of an office person and I needed more office clothes. So, but other than that, I don't shop. So that's it. So why? Yeah, it can, but the thing about it, the dress, yeah, no, the dress is kind of like it's not a simple dress. Um, so I wouldn't want to touch it. I think someone who has a little bit more finesse, and that's not me. I mean, at best I could sew on stripes on my shirt, and half of the time my husband did that. So I would invest in the alterations to have that cinched in a little bit to do it right, especially in the hip area. I wouldn't want it to, because if you don't do it right, then it's kind of bumpy on the sides, and that's not cute. So yeah, well, yeah, you can do that all around, but not in Indiana, and it's gonna be getting a little chilly in November. So yeah. So but okay, so we are at an hour and a half. This was good. I did not know that the conversation was going to go on to money, but I like it. Thank you. Did you like my? Okay, so I know some people have left. You like my videos on the that I've been posting? It has been a long time since I posted some of my workouts. There was a time that I would post some of my workouts, what I was doing, and I was like, you know what, let's see what we're doing. So I don't know, it was kind of like a throwback. Thank you. I'm glad. Oh, good. Thank you for the thumbs up. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. I've been surprising myself lately. So yeah, so I just wanted to share and inspire, especially now where people have just some people have given up. Let's just put it that way. Some people feel like, you know, why bother? I can't. And I'm always of the notion, yes, you can. So if I can, with my 50-year-old knee that doesn't always want me to be great, and I am no different than anybody else who is thank you. Thank you. I'm glad. Well, maybe I'll do another money video. I don't know what. I like to have a specific topic, but that's not what we started out with. We started out talking about um Tamar Braxton and about relationships, and then it kind of veered off into money. So, this was good. This is what good coffee table type conversation is all about. It should flow wherever it needs to go. And evidently, you guys wanted to talk about this. And I actually love talking about money. I don't know a lot about money. I am not an expert. I'm learning too, but my thing is, as an icebreaker, there are some things that we need to stop doing. And the number one thing is you have to share your resources, and your resource is knowledge. And the reason why some people and some groups do better than others is because they share their resources, and part of that is their money, but they also share their knowledge. And so many of us, like my video that I was saying, do you work through abundance, or do you work from lack? And if you're working out of lack, it is, I'm not going to tell you what I know for fear, that's lack, that if I gave you knowledge, then I'm gonna lose. I'm not gonna get what I need. So I'm going to hold on to my knowledge because it's going to be about me and mine. But the thing about it is that me and mine is a community. It's a community. And no community flourishes without using their resources. That's just the truth. And if you look at other communities, they share their resources and they get ahead. It's just the truth. So yes, resources can be money, but it's also information. And information. Oh, and you know Grant Cardone, he does the triple X, 10X. He does 10X. He has a great story. He's a Louisiana boy. And he has a great story. And I watch his videos all the time. Grant Cardone, he does 10X. I got his book, still reading it. And he talks about money buys you a seat at the table, gets you in the room. And he has a whole segment about that. And it's true, because money gets you access. And sometimes just being in the room is enough for you to get ahead, because you never know where that's going to go. Oh, so I'm going to end. Oh, I wrote something. I know people are leaving, but this was so much fun. This was so good. Did anyone watch Chadwick Boseman's Howard commencement speech? Did anyone watch that? If you have not watched that, you should watch it. So Chadwick Boseman, who is a graduate from Howard, he actually did the commencement speech. And I put it on my Facebook. You need to watch it. But I had waited on watching it because I was like, I might get emotional, right? And it's scribbling. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can read it off my Facebook, because I was like, this is so powerful. So I want to, I like to end things off on a good note. So one of the things, you watched it, I know it was like chilling, right? So definitely read it. Definitely watch the video. But I just took some of his quotes because I thought it was so inspiring. So I want to just share it with you. And maybe because I believe sometimes when you feel something, maybe somebody needs to hear it for whatever reason. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, goodness. Okay. All right. So this is part of his commencement speech. All right. And I'm just going to so I just wrote a beautiful commencement speech. This is what he said, quote, "The struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you if it's meant for you." Mm, mm. So I'm going to leave you with that quote. And because he talks about working in your purpose, talking to the graduating class in Howard. But I think that commencement speech is something that we probably need to hear in our own lives, because I think a lot of people are not working in their purpose. And if they were to listen to that commencement speech, they may be inspired to remember who they are and what their purpose is. Why are they here? You were not placed in your lifetime for no reason. You could have been born at any other time in a lifetime, but you were born at this particular time and you have a purpose. So many people are just kind of, oh, what oil refuse? Oh, I'm gonna let you know. Hey, I'm gonna let you know before I go. Um, so many people are not living, and I'm not talking about their potential. I'm talking about not living in their purpose, because see, purpose has nothing to do with accolades. Purpose, oh, I will. Purpose has nothing to do with um, uh, status. Purpose has nothing to do with titles. Purpose has to do with what are you doing with your life that radiates, that makes you your best self, that you are using your highest and best self in the world, through the world. Purpose. And it has nothing to do with money, because if you are operating in your purpose, maybe those things will come. But there are a lot of great people who aren't rich and who don't have the status, but they were operating in their purpose. And you know them by when they leave, their legacy is so powerful that you know that they just left an imprint on people's lives. That's how you know when they were walking in their purpose. And if you know you're not walking in your purpose, then you need to now start figuring out what that is. And if you lost that, then you need to be working on that. So I will check that out. And your question? Uh, so I got the oils for alertness. We'll see. For alertness and energy, is seriously, it says stay focused. So stay focused. So I have eucalyptus and for refreshing. So the eucalyptus is for refreshing. I have lemongrass, which is one of my favorite smells, is for energizing. And the last one is sweet orange for uplifting. And then I think I added just a little drop of rosemary, because why not? I had it there. So that's what I have in my diffuser for staying focused. So yeah, so that's gonna keep me going, and I'll be here till about I'm gonna give it 2 hours. I'm gonna give it two solid hours. And I hope she is. I do. I hope she is pregnant. I do. That is my wish. I hope so. I hope I do. I hope but we won't know, because they were so private. We probably won't even know. I mean, she won't tell us. We won't know, but I hope she is. And I hope that I'm sure he took care of his family, and I'm sure he took care of his wife. And if she's pregnant, I'm sure that they'll be taken care of. Oh, they're good. Okay, see, yeah, see, that's thank you. Yep. So I got my diffuser on with my water, and yeah. I'm gonna probably change it to purple. I got it on red right now. And thank you. I think she's at the memorial. Oh, oversight clothes. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Well, they're private, and I don't see that changing. So I hope so. I hope so. A beautiful soul, an artist, not an actor, a true artist who really loved his craft, and will gone way too soon, way too soon. That could have been my daughter's Denzel Washington. You know what I mean? There's someone who could have had such a fantastic long catalog, but he left his mark. And sometimes Some people aren't meant to be here that long, but uh, we'll be talking about them, for a long time. So, yeah. So, thank you so much. This was so, so great for helping me procrastinate, get my studying done. But you know what? A lot was said, a lot of information. This was a fantastic live. I'm glad that everybody had something to say, and I hope you got something out of it. You had a fun night. I had a great fun night. I would like to be a little bit more regular. I'm thinking maybe Tuesday nights would be good because it's not too crazy and it's not a Monday night. But I'm thinking Tuesday nights aren't bad. And I could come in, make, with the intention of an hour, but if it flows right, we could do more. And I will have another topic. So you guys can put in the comments of what kind of topic you would like to do. If it's something that I can do, I can definitely make it work. But yeah, I'm thinking a Tuesday night live would be a lot of fun. All right. So if you like the idea of a Tuesday night live, even if it's not every week, try to make it every other week. That is something I think for a little bit would be fun. And we can have a topic and share some information. Yeah, I like the idea. So that's all I have. I'm going to go study. Me and the blue book are going to become friends. And thank you so much. Take care of each other, and I will talk to you soon. I'll see you on the airways on YouTube. All right. Bye. Be good, guys.